Welcome to another video. I have with me here the AirPods Max, and I know everybody's comparing these to the Sony XM4 headphones. I've never experienced the Sony headphones, but all of the reviews say they're very comparable. But what I want to understand is how much better the AirPods Max are than my AirPods Pro, which should be for twice the price, twice as good at least. And then we have the Wireless Beats Studio. So I'm going to compare all of these, listen to them, and give you my take on how much better the AirPods Max are and if it's worth that extra price, if that value is there in the sound quality. So first things first, let's jump in here. Let's open up this plastic here. I've got a nice tab right there. That's satisfying. There they are. Now I find it pretty interesting that all the reviews are of specifically that Sony XM4 and not really, I know these aren't in the same game here, all of these devices here, but if we're going to be using the AirPods Max for just enjoying the music and for listening, I think a lot of people that start out with something like this or the Beats Studio want to know, is it worth the upgrade? So from here we have the nice AirPods Max, very heavy and weighted, and inside the box here we have our little lightning cable. Let's pull that out, just set that right here, and we'll get this box on the side right here. And just for eye candy, we'll put it right there. So with that, I'm just going to get started with my phone. So nice smart case here. First, there's this little paper. There we go. Now we have the smart case in all of its glory. Boom. Pull that out here. And I don't think there's any on button. So yeah, it's nice and heavy. We have a little L engraving here, as you can see, and an R engraving for left and right here on the mesh. And I think from here, I just put them on. Ooh, I like that feel. And let's just turn on our iPhone and see if it gets us started immediately. So far I'm not seeing anything. So maybe I put them close by. Look at that. I love the Apple experience, being able to bring something right by tap connect, and within a few seconds you can see we're connected and ready to use. So that's the same experience we get with both of these other headphones and AirPods. So I'm going to now turn them on, see if I can hear any tune here. First of all, how do they look? So one thing I guess you need to do, it shows connection failed here. Connection failed. That's not what you want to see in a $550 pair of headphones. So we'll just tap try again, maybe keep them off, and we'll see if this connects here. Connecting. Probably got to maintain that 2-inch distance here. If you go any further, it's going to fail. Connection failed. Interesting. So if that doesn't happen, which maybe it's just me, but I'm going to just tap on settings, go into Bluetooth. Looks like I'm not seeing anything. Maybe it'll help for me to push a button or two. So there's 2 buttons here. Press and hold the noise control button. And just like that, as I'm touting the Apple experience, I go through these bugs and quirks. I don't know why it didn't connect that time, but I'm going to. It's asking me to push the digital crown. So let's turn this on here. All right, I hear the connection. Control center, press the volume slider to view additional controls for noise cancellation and transparency. See and hear how it works. So let's turn on the spatial audio here. One thing with spatial audio with these devices, specifically the AirPods Pro, when I enable those, I know a lot of the YouTube reviewers, as they tried this out, they were very impressed by the difference in the spatial audio and the way that you can orient the audio to your device, but I didn't really see that big of a difference. I couldn't tell that. Okay, so this is stereo. Sounds like stereo. I'm going to turn it on now. Okay, I can kind of tell the difference between the spatial audio. It's not, one thing that I was trying to listen for is if I can hear the direction the audio is coming from through my phone. I could tell there's a lot more instruments around me, and I can hear that, but not as big of a difference as I had hoped. So I'm about 80%. They sound good. So we're at 100% here. So I'm gonna just turn on transparency here. And that's a big difference. Even at 100%, I can start to hear my voice. I'm going to turn this down to 60. Now I can really hear my voice normally here with this transparency on. So obviously this is really good, but I'm going to just test 100% with the AirPods Pro, the Beats Studio and the AirPods Max with this one song. So let's give this a try here. And I'll try to give a number how much better this is. So let's see. All right, and with that, let's turn on now the Beats. All right, I can really hear that bass enough to where it's vibrating inside of my ear here. Let's go ahead and try that same thing here. It's really hard. All right, and now I'm just gonna see the difference. So it's interesting, the difference in the audio quality, because the AirPods Pro, they sound really good, but it's kind of like when you have that very first gaming console, the PS1 and PS2, and then you get that new gaming console and the quality of the graphics are so much better. You're like, man, I didn't really realize how horrible the quality was in these earlier devices until you experience the newer devices. And even something like this, I know it's a stark difference in the quality and even the price here. So they're not meant to be the same thing. This is like super convenience, really portable, and it's really nice. And this is probably going to be my main source of listening, talking on the phone. These are really great quality, but just listening to the music now here with the AirPods Pro, I mean, major difference in the audio quality. These still sound really good. If you're not a huge audiophile, this again is still going to be my main source of use just because it fits in this little thing. It's really awesome. But just picking these back up, and let's listen to the same song here. We'll just 100%, we're hitting play. I mean, it feels like you're in the studio. All the instruments are all around you. I cannot, again, hear my own voice here. So this is crazy good compared to here. Just crazy good. But again, I can tell the quality. I can tell even how much better it is than the Beats here, but not that huge of a difference. You can tell that the sound, everything sounds a lot richer, but the volume here, even at 100% with the Beats here, the Beats Studio, again, I can't hear my voice. And there is a slight distortion, just a slight distortion in here. But these are still really good quality. The instruments here are kind of blended together. I'm listening to The Adventure by Angels and Airwaves, trying to listen for those differences. You can tell I'm putting the headphones on and off and just playing them because some of it is so minimal. But as soon as I start to play new songs here, like this Angels and Airwaves, I love the quality of these AirPods Max. And so what I would say is if you have the budget for this, I know they're super steep price. So there are a lot of videos talking about the Sonys and how comparable they are in price, and the audio quality is almost indistinguishable. Some have said they can feel the audio quality is just a little bit better there, but just here, if you have the AirPods Pro, it's for a reason. This is super convenient, super portable, and just the whole experience of how they automatically connect to your iPhone, how you can pull them off and they pause. You can use Siri directly with your voice without pushing anything. These still have its place, and these are going to stay in my pocket. But if I'm here in the studio, in the office, and I'm listening directly at my desk, I definitely am going to opt for something like this. Maybe not for portability, not for running. If I'm traveling, definitely these are going to be in my bag. Really enjoy these. And as far as using the Beats Studio over this, there is that huge price difference. You can get two of these for the price of this same thing, but there is a good amount of difference here in the AirPods Pro. I really like how the Beats Studio and almost every other pair of headphones like this just fold up. They're super portable. You can put them in a bag here. Really great to use. Something like this, I think this case is almost unusable. Not a very good design. I mean, it's supposed to put this in like a low power mode so that it can survive for possibly a few months here without the battery draining. But this has a 20-hour battery life. There's no on-off button here. I don't see really a practical use, like you can see in the other reviews, a practical use for this case here. It just is weird. It's weird having it protect just the most durable part of the headphone and leave this exposed. But again, I am really impressed. For what I do and how I listen to music, again, what I would go with here, I bought these Beats Studio here. I've had them for probably a little over a year, and I don't use them that often at all. I'm always jumping to this because they're in my pocket. They're very nice. So if I had to have one pair of headphones out of all of these three, regardless of price or anything else, even if they were equally priced, I would still go for this. Again, I'm not a huge audiophile, so that difference in that quality here doesn't matter as much as the convenience and portability of the AirPods Pro. So this is what I'm going to be using. But because I have all three, I'd probably I'm going to continue using these. I actually use these just to monitor the audio for the videos like this, so it's usually connected to the camera, and those will probably stay there. And these are going to be my go-to in the office as I'm listening to music and even editing videos, just using them here in the studio in the office. So these are the main ones here that I'd go for. I hope you found this review useful. I know as far as whether you should get these or not, it's a really hard question to answer because they're really priced above the competition. I would recommend going and looking at the other videos for the Sony XM4. And to be honest, based on the reviews that I've seen, I'd probably go with the Sony XM4 over these. They're quite a bit smaller. I don't know about the comfortability and how the difference there goes. But because I have these, I'm really going to enjoy them. You can decide for yourself if that extra price is being worth being a part of the Apple ecosystem and using the Siri commands and all the extra bells and whistles that come with integrating the AirPods Max with your iPhone. They definitely don't make sense for the use with any other phone if you have an Android, things like that. Then you're not going to be making use of that convenience, and at that point I'd probably consider the Sonys at half the price and just go for that. I've only spent these 15 minutes with the headphones here, so I'm going to continue listening to them, and maybe I'll give you an update on my feedback here. But I hope you found this hands-on video useful, and if you did, please subscribe and hit that bell icon.